Today I am introducing you to a great visual tool that will empower you and your team to manage any type of project, workflow, or task tracking. Trello is one of the most flexible and easy-to-use project management systems. I will help you how to get most out it if you are a youth worker or an educator. Let's start off with the Trello home screen. Now, if you're brand new to Trello, you may not have a single board present here. That's fine. Let's get started with creating our first board, and to do that it's pretty straightforward. Just press on Create your first board. And the very first thing that we need to do is give this board a name. Now, in most cases, your boards are going to represent a project or maybe your own personal to-do list. In this case, I'm just gonna call this My To-Do List. We can now select the type of background we desire. We can always modify it later, but for now, I'm going to go with a plain blue background for us to work with. Finally, I'm going to make this one private so that no one else on my team can see it. We can now select Create Board with our new title, and we have a brand new Trello board to work with. Now, at first glance, this may seem a little intimidating, because we have a blank blue board in front of us. We don't even have a single list here, so let's get started by making a very basic workflow. Most of the time, Trello is best used to have a number of different stages, which Trello refers to like lists. As a result, let's call this first list Ideas. Give another list the label To Do. Let's make a list of things you're actually accomplishing, since there's a big difference between something you want to do and something you're actually working on. Last but not least, I'm going to make one named Done. By selecting the Add Another List option, you can now create as many lists as you like within Trello. You can change the order of your lists by simply clicking and dragging them around. Following that, we'll look at how to add cards to each of these lists. Cards are what these lists represent, however they can also be moved to other lists. So, under Ideas, I'm thinking about writing a new project. Maybe I should send an email to my partners about the meeting next week. Another thought I had was to produce an info pack for the upcoming youth exchange. So, under this first list, I've got a few different tasks noted. Many things in Trello are drag and drop, so if I want to reorder this list and move the info pack to the top, I can just click and drag it to the top. This drag and drop functionality, however, also applies to transferring cards between lists. Most of the time, our goal is to move a card from the left side of the board to the right, where your final list will be labeled Done, Complete, or Finished. So, once I've finished this info pack, I'll be able to drag it over to this Done list. At this point, you can see that things are very simple. We've written the names of our tasks on our cards, and we've made lists in which we'll drag things through their various stages. But this is the beauty of Trello. We can get a comprehensive picture of what's going on here, but if we click on one of these cards, we'll open up to a lot more information. So, we can always come up and update the name here on the back of the card, but the description area is probably the first place you'll want to go. We can add as many more details or links as we want within the description. Maybe we can add things such as the topic of the project or main objectives, in which deadline has to be applied. We can enter as many notes as we like here before clicking Save. As a result, you won't have to jam your card's name at the top. However, on the back of the card, there is much more than just the description. We have a lot of options for adding more information on the right-hand side. The third one down is labeled as a checklist, and this is a fantastic way to add subtasks or extras to this card that you don't want to forget about. So, if I choose the checklist button, I have the option of leaving the title as checklist, but in this case, I'm going to write, Remember to do this, and then add. As a result, this will act as a list of subtasks and other points to remember. I may wish to include items like researching the topic, contacting the partners, and dividing the responsibilities. So, here are the 3 tasks or checklist items that I've added to this card, and as I go through these steps, you'll notice that it'll track my progress within the card. Even if I close the card, I can still see the progress of my checklist on the front. Let's reopen our card and have a look at some of the other options available to us. We have the opportunity to add labels just above the checklist button. Labels can help you categorize and see your different cards on your board more efficiently. So, if I click Labels here and select the green label, maybe I want this green label on everything that is a writing activity. I'm going to save this and then choose that label, which will now be applied to this specific card. I'm not limited to a single label. I have the option of adding as many labels as I desire. Maybe I want to use this red color as far as an urgency label, so I'm going to hit save here and select red for urgent. And now I can have that directly added to this card, where it will be easily visible on the front. Any card can have a due date added to it. So, by the end of February, I'd like to be able to draft this project. I'm going to save the date of February 24th. Now I have a due date, which will also serve as a reminder as to the date approaches, making it simple to keep track of my progress and ensure that I don't fall behind. We have the option of adding an attachment from our computer, below the dates. So, for example, I want to include this graphic related to the project's topic. I can directly attach this picture to the card, or I can link it to other cloud services. As you can see, we have the chance to show the image as the cover of our card, so depending on how you use Trello, you can use this feature to create your perfect template. Now, as you continue to use your Trello board and eventually drag more and more cards into your done list, this may end up with a long list of cards that you don't necessarily want to view anymore. In this case, I would recommend you, in order to keep nice and clean your board, to archive the cards you don't need anymore. So, all we need to do is select the three dots up in the list's corner, and select Archive All Cards in this list. The list will not be removed, only the cards, which will be still searchable and restored on the board. Trello is a teamwork-based platform, so let's see briefly how to invite new members in participating in your boards or working spaces. One way is to invite the new members directly to the board, and this is possible by email invitation or sharing a simple link or QR code. Once the invitation is accepted, the new member can contribute using all the features available, commenting, editing and creating new cards or lists and arranging them differently. Another way is to invite new members to your workspace from the Workspace tab in Trello's Home. You can always take inspiration in creating your board by choosing one of the templates available in the Home. I found two interesting ones, both created by Trello team, which you can freely use for your next virtual planning session. The first one is Project Management, a basic structure to build your team's ideal workflow, whether for large or small projects. If you like it, you can simply create a board from the template and adapt it to your needs. The second one is Remote Team Meetings. It's easy to get overwhelmed by thousands of meetings and lose focus. This template will assist you in keeping your team on track so that you don't waste time and don't overlook crucial points to cover. I hope this video helped you learn the basics to start your new experience with Trello, a new virtual way to collaborate with your team and organize your next projects and ideas. Thank you so much for watching my video to the end. If you found the tips helpful, please share this video with other educators or youth workers that you know.